Hey everybody, welcome back to BFD. Today, BFD stands for Buddies with Film Degrees. Hey, happy birthday! That's right, it is our second anniversary of the channel being put live. And let me just tell you, it's been 2 years. It feels very lonesome right now to be the only one on the couch. The only one here, as Chris left last year and Jake was unavailable to film anytime this weekend because he's shooting a music video, which you should go check out. Link will not be below because the video isn't out yet, but eventually you should check it out. So instead, I'm just going to have to do a forced Skype call with Jake. And let's see, Jake, are you there?
You're here.
Okay, great. Jake is here. Well, let's just start off by talking a little bit about this last year and I guess the 2 years combined. If anybody has been around long enough to have witnessed the channel at its 1 year birthday, then they'll remember us talking about what it was like to make videos on a weekly basis and how stressful it was, but how fun it was at the same time. And just kind of what that process was like for us as people who, you know, watched a lot of YouTubers growing up and just decided that we would try to do stuff of our own. In the second year here, we really found more of what kind of videos we liked to make. We liked to make video essays and movie reviews, and every now and then we'd have fun with some, you know, random video. And while we weren't able to typically do it as frequently as one video every week, we definitely maintained consistency for another year. We took a little break in July because everybody was moving at that point. But overall, the course of the channel this year has just been that. It's been movie reviews, video essays, and we had a surprise algorithm favorite in my video on why modern movies suck, and that bumped us up from somewhere around like 500 subscribers to over 1,000, and we were finally able to get monetized towards the middle end of January. We have not seen $1 of that yet because we haven't. YouTube does a thing where it won't give you the money that you make unless you reach a certain amount. It's like $50 or $100 or something like that. We have not made that much money yet, so Jake and I still haven't seen a check. But it is still pretty cool that we were able to get monetized in the first place. My initial goal for the channel was to hit 1,000 subscribers by the first year, and at that point we were at maybe 200 to 300. So it was very nice, at least by the time this year came around, that we are solidly at 1,000 subscribers. I thought that's pretty cool. Now this year has been a lot different because Jake and Chris were not readily available to film with basically whenever, because Jake used to live about, I guess, 2 minutes away from me if he walked. He lived in the same apartment complex, and Chris lived about, you know, 10-15 minutes down the road. So it was a lot different this year to maybe every now and then Jake would be able to come up from his 3-hour trek up here to film a video, or one time I was able to go down there to him. But for the most part, all of our videos were just filmed just like this, by ourselves, uploaded onto a channel, and usually we would tell the other right before we were about to shoot that we were making a video. Or sometimes even when we're uploading it, hey, we're putting this video out, by the way. And part of the original purpose of the channel was to basically hang out and record what we were already doing whenever we were hanging out, which was to talk about movies. And it changed a little bit in this year, but overall I think it's been a positive boom on the success of the channel. There's been less of the overlapping kind of unstructured talk like our older movie reviews were, and still a bit unstructured, but certainly a more focused view for the audience, and I think overall that's been a net benefit. But that's all I have to say about how this year has been. Let's see, Jake, do you have anything to say?
We're celebrating our second year birthday, For me, celebrating a couple birthdays of this media organization. This year, it's been a bit different, as I'm sure all of you have noticed. In the previous years, we've always been together, the BFDers and Thomas and all of them, but this year was a bit harder. It was I think it was like our second year out of college or something. I don't remember when I graduated, but we all moved away and we didn't get to make videos together as often as we wanted to. Now we did make some, as you've seen, but a lot of them have been separate. And that's been hard. It's been hard being away from friends and my people who I like to make videos with, and you can see on the channel that that has been the result. A lot more individual video essays instead of videos discussing things together. Now we did pop out a couple movie reviews together and that one Christmas video, which I had a great time doing. But it hasn't been as interactive with the other two BFDers as it has been in the past. And you know, as a result, the channel has changed a little bit, but hey, we're still rocking and rolling, baby.
So here's the part where we talk about our favorite video that we made this year and our least favorite video. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a video that we edited or we came up with, but just a video on the channel. To start with the good, I am really proud of my Planet of the Apes trilogy videos that I did. There were 3 of them. If I had to pick a favorite out of that, I would probably say the first or the second one. But again, I like all of those a lot. They didn't get as much traction as the Indiana Jones trilogy that I did the year prior, unfortunately, but I am actually really happy with those videos, and I really liked how they turned out. And if I had to say what the worst video of the year was, it was absolutely the cookie creation bake-off video that Jake and I did over Christmas. I don't know. We were tired. Jake came in for 2 days on a weekend in December, and in that weekend we filmed 3 videos, which was the Willy Wonka movie review, the cookie video, and the best movies of 2023. And by the time that 3rd video was being shot, and it was late at night because it took so long for the baking, we lost all energy, and it was very unstructured. It was very chaotic. A lot of equipment issues during that, and it was not a good video at all. It's so hard to watch. But Jake, buddy, are you going through a tunnel? No. Oh, sorry. Ah, yeah, he's on this side. Hey, Jake, what do you think? What are the worst videos of this year, and what are the best?
This past year has let out a couple bangers and a couple stinkers. I've dropped some that I think got like 5 views and some that got over 1,000 views. But one in particular was my favorite that we did, and actually was released right after our birthday. The Barbenheimer review. The video itself was fine. It was a good video, good review. We did 2 movie reviews in one. Barbenheimer, the event of the century. Well, if you don't want to count Endgame. But everybody was at the cinemas, and we went and we got costumes and we dressed up, and it was just a good time seeing everybody at the theater. And I just enjoyed making that video more so than the result that the video was. And that's really, you know, why I make videos, is just the process rather than the result, which is still something I enjoy doing. The worst video of the year, now that one's a bit more difficult. Let me take a look. Oh, yeah, there's a couple. The Scream video, not the worst video. I enjoyed making that video, but it took me way too long. Sorry about that, guys. The worst video that I put out, and really I think that we as a channel put out this year, was the Kung Fu Panda 4 review. And that's not because it's a bad video. It's a fine video. It's a solid movie review, I think. But just the experience, again, like the Barbenheimer, the Kung Fu Panda 4 experience was horrible. I mean, Kyle, we actually had just watched, I think, Godzilla X Kong or something. Kyle was down in where I'm at, and we were going back to where he's at, and we decided to stop on the way and watch this movie, and so it was I don't know, it was like 8 o'clock at night or something after a day of shooting, onto a day of shooting, and the movie itself was just so boring. I mean, watch the review and you'll see, but like for me, all of it was just, it was rough. And for it to be Kung Fu Panda, was like, that's one of my trilogies. Like that's one of my franchises that I hold super near and dear to my heart, and just to see it butchered and slaughtered it was tough.
All right, interesting. I don't know if I agree or not, but I certainly have an opinion about what you just said. But now here comes the part in the video where we get into the channel news. And last year, Chris left because he was a big loser baby and had to move away. And this year, I'm leaving, and I'm not moving away. I just don't want to do this anymore. Making YouTube videos and making videos of all sorts with the podcast that we did a whole year prior, which was, again, was all weekly uploads. Between all of that, for the last 3 years of my life, I have been constantly managing and thinking and putting all of my creative energies, if I even have any, into making YouTube videos. And that might not seem like a long time, because there are a lot of channels that have been around for like a decade plus at this point. And to be fair, we don't have the highest production value of anything, and a lot of what we are doing is just off the cuff, and that's by necessity because we simply don't have enough time to do anything that's really scripted. But at the same time, I'm just tired. I'm tired of making videos. I don't get the joy out of it that I used to. And part of the reason why I didn't quit before was because I didn't really understand why I don't enjoy the process. It's always been stressful. It's always been really frustrating to try to manage all of these different things and keep the uploads semi-consistent, because if we miss over 2 weeks in a row, that's really bad for engagement because people won't come back and the algorithm won't push you and blah, 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 blah. But these things have always been constant. But again, I've wondered, why is it that I don't feel the same joy of putting a video out and being like, oh man, I wonder if people are really going to watch this. I just don't get that to the same degree anymore. And it really wasn't until about a month or so ago that I finally was able to put words to why I don't get the same reaction out of this anymore. And the answer is twofold. One, Jake introduced me to LETTERBOXD. And two, I got married. On the first one, any opinion that I have about a movie now, I now have a cataloged, personalized library of all of my opinions that I could ever wish to put about a movie, and I don't have to edit or set up equipment like I'd have to do here that I'm going to have to take down immediately, or the whole host of other things like be somewhat camera ready, be good with words. I could just type, and if I stumble or stutter or lose my train of thought, I can just simply turn the screen off, wait a second, gather my thoughts, and then come back to it whenever. And it gets any need I might have of cataloging my opinions on anything, it gets that out. I mean, the viewership might be less, but to me, that's not really the point. The point was just to be able to articulate why a movie worked or didn't work. That was what always interested me about criticism in general. So that one is Jake's fault. The second reason, like I said, is because I got married. And no, that's not my wife being like, you need to stop spending all this time making YouTube videos. In fact, she tried to convince me to not stop, which is crazy because she doesn't watch any of my videos, I noticed. But no, it has nothing to do with that. What it is very personal to me, which is all of my life, I have never felt as though I have been able to really talk. And as somebody who talks a lot, I know that might sound strange, but off camera, it takes me a long time to formulate my opinions, and a lot of the times I just have to simply talk it out. And I never had somebody that I really felt like I could do that with. And it was sometime, like I said, a few months ago that I realized the reason I'm not getting the same joy out of it is because I already have somebody that I can share all of my opinions with. And so really what it came down to is that I don't need YouTube anymore. You know, I never thought of it as though it was a personal therapeutic experience or anything like that, but it wound up being like that because in a YouTube video, like a movie review or a video essay, I can talk about whatever I want to talk about as long as I want to talk about it. You don't have to watch it, but I can put it out there on the internet. And that always was cathartic for me because, again, I never used to feel like I could just speak as much as I wanted and people would listen. And I know, obviously, there are limits to that. I'm not a narcissist. But, again, generally, I never felt like that was something I was able to do. Well, now I can do that whenever I want. You know, I will always be grateful for the experience that I had making YouTube videos, and I will always look back on this time in my life as saying that I really did accomplish something. I mean, we all did. Chris, Jake, and myself, we really accomplished something. For Jake and myself, we went 3 years with consistent video uploads, making relatively good quality content. You know, I'm proud of what we have made and put out, and I'm proud of pretty much every video that we put out, except for the video that I said was the worst last year and the video that I said was the worst this year, of course. But yeah, that is basically why I feel like I do not need YouTube anymore. And you know what? The more I think about it, the more I realize that now, whenever Jake or Chris do come by, or whenever I go over to their places, I don't have to worry about filming. I don't have to worry about finding something to talk about so that we can put it on YouTube, to capitalize on the experience and to try to monetize our friendship, essentially. Now, I can just talk to them. We can just be friends. We can just have moments to ourselves. And, you know, that might not have been what we were looking for when we first started the channel, but I'm at the point now where that's really all that I want. And so I don't mean to say that and say that, poo-poo the channel or anything like that. No, there's nothing like that. And I'm pretty sure that Jake is going to want to keep making videos. He'll fill you in on the future of the channel here in just a second. I don't know, but the point is Jake is going to keep making videos on this channel, and they're still going to be really good, and I'm still going to be in full support of them. I just won't be on the channel anymore. I don't have to do any work. Yay! So I guess we'll cut to Jake. What is the future of this channel?
So there goes another buddy down the drain, but that's okay because I'm still here and I still have a film degree. For those of you who have been along for the ride all the way back since the days of Al Pacino's Prison Scene, the podcast, think about it with Thomas. You've seen, we've gone through a lot of different iterations, and that's how it's going to be now. It's going to be me. I want to pull in some other people, so it's not just limited to us two. Like I said earlier, it's been hard just because we've been so separated and, life in general. We do this on the side, it's hard to do this and obtain a real job to make enough money to survive, for me, anyway. But channel's not going to stop. The frequency of posting hopefully won't slow down. You're still going to see movie reviews, video essays. I'm hoping to do some other things, some narrative-based things in the future, so keep an eye out for that. But yeah, channel's going to keep going as it normally does. It's just a buddies with a film degree now. So yeah, I've been Jake, and I have been since at least last Thursday, and I'll see you in the next one. Gah! Gah! Bye.
Well, there you have it. Everybody, I've been Kyle, and I still am, and I will not see you in the next video. But there will be one, so you better go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, all the things. Bye!